Alright, welcome YouTube, this is Jag here, and I hope you're having a great day. This is tips and strategies for the Barrow Legion. Legendary faction is Heinrich Kimmler, only one you get. And he starts off at Blackstone Post, with Heinrich starting over here, and immediately ready to attack Eratos. Here's a fraction. I'll be covering all the tips and strategies to play in the early game, and at the end of the video I will do the battle here, the last battle that King Leon Lincur gets to do with Bretonia. So stay tuned for that, and if you like the video, please comment, subscribe, anything you think I missed. And don't forget to subscribe if you like the content for all my latest materials. Alright, now you start off here at Black Post, and you start off with this building right here, which lets you be able to get Necromancer, Foul Bats, and Spearmen. Skeleton Spearmen. Here you got more options to unlock, because you can put a building in here right off the bat. There's really two choices: to go this to get your vampiric corruption, so you're not steadily going down as you play the game for a while, or you can be more defensive, and I'd recommend this if you really don't want to have to worry about the dwarfs. Dwarves won't really attack you ever with that garrisoned up with the ghost fence. I choose this because I can get back faster, and I'll show you how in a second. So first turn you want to immediately attack here at our Artos's first place. He has two right here, Castle Artos as well. You take that with relatively ease. You send your infantry in and flanks with your cavalry units. It's a pretty easy victory. And then you start building troops, getting more men here at the same time, because you want to have this building. And in the same first turn, you want to build another lord here, and you want to get as many fell bats as you can. The reason why you want fell bats is they are great for bypassing the infantry line, attacking fast, and hitting their archers. If Bretonia doesn't have their archers, your infantry line will beat theirs any day of the week. You just have better start off troops than they do. So without their archers, they have no way at all of defeating you. So that is the first part. Let's get what would be turn one. Let's look at the bloodlines here. You'll be in your 20s probably before you finally get your first enough to get 3. And I like going down the von Karstein line, the Lord Focus Puppet Master. He gives you the casualty replenishment, which is really key to expanding fast, because your troops are just always replenishing very quickly. And it gains you access to Sylvanian crossbowmen, which is nice because now you actually get to shoot back at them, and they do quite the damage. So I recommend going on this tree first. There's varies what you like to play style. But I like doing this to get, and then you get that +5 public order in all provinces, and the next one really helps with order. And then you're in the last one, you're going to get Sylvanian handgunners, and that is going to be huge to have those two in your army. It makes keeping places much easier with that public order, and then going up faster as well. And then I recommend going down the Blood Dragon, focus on military commander, You get your weapon strength on all armies, your experience, so they're going to experience much faster. But the big one is immune to untainted attrition on all armies. That really helps. Heinrich Kimmler automatically starts off immune, but all your other armies, it can really take a toll if you're really trying to expand quickly. And then the next one I would focus on is the Bestial Juggernaut here, because of this one right here. He gets his ambush, and that vampiric corruption really helps grow to get your places much more corrupted, so you're not keeping armies, whole stacks of armies, just sort of babysitting a province to keep them from rebelling. This one, public order minus 60% due to the presence or lack of corruption on all provinces. That will really help with your public order problems. And then I would usually go research rate, but it's really up to you. And then you get that starting magic plus 20, which is a big deal. And then upkeep is always great to have. And over here you got upkeep for heroes, which usually have a lot of heroes for maybe the vampires. And the last one, that campaign line of sight, that's pretty nice for all characters. It's pretty huge, 150%. That's quite a big jump. Alright, technology tree. The best thing you want to do is immediately go down this path to get the Defiler of the Ancient Burrows. This gives you minus 100 upkeep for your Skeleton Warriors and Skeleton Spearmen. So after you do the initial cost to buy them, there is 0 cost to maintain them. So you can have huge amounts of stacks of armies and just having these guys, and you can just overwhelm Bretonia and just all the men around you, because you're able to produce so many armies quickly. So the only cost you really have is the Lord to maintain the Lord, so that helps. So I definitely recommend going down here first to click this one, so it keeps going down here to getting this. Once you can get this, then everything gets a lot cheaper and you can build a lot of armies. This really helps the main force. And then definitely going down here when you're getting Grave Guard, get that 10% recruitment cost, and upkeep is huge. And down here also is a zombies, minus 100% upkeep there as well, but this one's worth much more because these guys are much better. These guys can beat any of the Bretonia soldiers any day of the week. They're light ones. Then after that, I usually go with the 20% attrition, casualties, and upkeep for Crypt Ghouls, because you can get them the next. But after that, you don't really have to do any of these if you don't want to. Right now I'm working on the campaign movement range, but to go up here to get your fell bats better, because they are key right off the bat, because they usually lose them a lot, but they do a lot of work harassing the archers. And here is going to upgrade your buildings, making it much more easier to grow and get more reduction in your lords, more diplomatic stuff. I usually wait and get more of this stuff done, the warrior stuff, before I'm going to focus on anything else. Right now I'm working towards getting that 30% attrition, which makes it big, and cost of undead. This is going to give me plus leadership. That's going to be big when laying siege or under siege. Diplomacy, the only one you really can diplomacy and get some trade is Musalan right here. In this version that they played, they took Lyonesse, which is good, but they actually lost Mousillon about 6 turns ago, and now Bordelux, they are now sending an army up here, so I wonder who they're gonna attack. These guys can't really be much of a threat until after about turn 24, because they have that huge reduction of greenskins that they just kind of have to sit at home. Castle Baston, sometimes they declare war on you earlier in the game, and you can't go and attack Marienburg after you finish Ortos, and you have to deal with Baston. And let's go into objectives. So, destroy the following factions. That's quite a bit on the long term, but let's go short term. You just have to kill Bretonnia, Kirkaston, and Bordelot, so not that hard. The 3 main fractions. It's actually kind of easy once you start rolling. Once you kind of clear this off, it's kind of good to get more of a, with Middenheim as came over and took this place, Gorsel, but once you hold Marienburg, it kind of has a stronghold to hold off the Empire. And here up at Bretonnia, taking their capital makes it key of holding off against the Norsemen. But now back to just turn 1. After that's turn, you got 3 bats. You're doing good. You can raise the dead here. Or maybe buy some more bats if you want to wait. But once he's got somewhat of a sizable force, he's going to plop out another lord here. That's when you want to attack, probably turn 3 or so, and you can send both armies and attack, beat him there. Important while his armies are running away, to don't just end the battle, keep trying to take out as many as you can, because you still will have to take out Castle Artos later and you will siege it. At this point you can transfer your Felbats into your main army with Heinrich Kimmler and siege that, and you can send your lord back over to the Blackstone Post here if you're worried about the dwarves. Sometimes the dwarves will come and raid, but usually they don't attack by then. The keys is to wait, well, build your forces here up and then wait for him to go out and attack. Most of the time he loses, and then you can come in and take Karakzinth quite easily. And it's a pretty easy battle here. You're going to send your Felbats that you've got to hit the archers on the wall. You're going to want siege equipment to get your skeleton warriors on the walls easier. And you're just going to plug them up with your Felbats and then just wait for infantry to come in on the siege equipment. That's the strategy there. Once you captured this and captured this Karakzinth, you might have to go against Baston. In this version you didn't. This version I got a non-aggression pack with them, so that was nice. So then I could focus on coming over to attack Marienburg. Sometimes Marienburg gets Gorsel, or they conquer Grunzint. This time they attacked Grunzint, and Bretonnia got Gorsel. But usually if you're attacking Marienburg, sometimes Bretonnia, even though they were at war, they switch sides, and from them, since I was sieging it, and they attacked me right off the bat over here after I had just won. So be careful with Bretonnia, that they'll want to attack you. They see you as a threat. Bretonnia usually plays very aggressive style. They're going to keep riding into your lands, very chivalrous, trying to seek out a fight. They're not just going to stay at home like the dwarves or something and play somewhat defensive. They're going to come out and attack even though they don't have the army to actually take you out easily. Especially once you get the minus 100% reduction in costs of the skeleton spearmen and swordmen, you can easily just have a ton of armies. Right now I have 3, and I could easily build 2 more and not even make a sweat. Here's this army composition. I'm not really paying for anything but some zombies just to use as to soak up missile fire. Especially one trick tip to get some zombies in your army, to pick up the undead ones and put them in the front of your lines, so when archers do shoot at you, they take out the zombies and not your better troops. So that's just a pretty cheap army. Here is my better army, but he's going to get reinforced. There's troops that I'm going to switch eventually over. You can now start getting crypt ghouls by like turn 20, in the late 20s. Getting them are nice. And then all this army part right here is free. I'm paying a little bit on them, but they're very cheap. Got a corpse cart now. I got black knights, and you start off with your hex wraith and your crane race. Marienburg usually gives you some pretty good things, so that way they invested in there, so I could easily get them. One thing nice about having your home province kind of spread out a long ways is you can have your great area, but you can put in troops here, or you can be way out here and build troops, and that's a pretty big stretch there to help play pretty defensive and build armies quickly. Raise the Dead makes you help get your forces up, your spearmen and your swordmen up pretty quickly as well. But your really main strategy is kind of overwhelming numbers. They just can't produce enough armies to beat all your armies, and your army can usually be better than theirs. Now, tips for his legendary lord is you want to get the Thrallmaster, because you want to get the recruitment cost down and the Raise the Dead cost down, and also the leadership of your army makes a big difference, and the casualty replenishment. Casualty replenishment is going to make you be able to move faster, and then also unlocking more of these to keep Krell staying alive longer, especially with longer battles, really helps him. And then some get bonuses, like this one now gives him plus 10 defense and plus 25 more hit points and a new ability. This one is gonna just get more. He's gonna get plus 5 attack. Now he's gonna get a charge and another ability. Here he upgrades ability, and now he no longer takes degrades in battle. That's where you want him to be. And down here, just to move faster around the campaign, I recommend this, and getting the replenishment rate up. Because once you get that replenishment rate up, you're just this time. Other things, my guys can like all these guys could heal in one turn easily. And here is my civilian crossbowman. He works very well. Great range. They came out and attacked me the last battle, so these guys are pretty beat up, and the guys inside are pretty beat up. See, it's not going to show me, but all these guys are very beat up. They attack you even though they really couldn't win. So I lost some of my fell bats. I lost one of them that was in here. These guys are pretty beat up, but they're just used as expendables until I can get better flying units. So that's nice there. They're just great harassers on those artillery units. One thing to watch for is public order is going to be something you're always going to have to look out for with playing. This guy is still having to keep an army here to now watch out for Baston, but to keep that public order going in the right direction. Here's the only place that I have it where it's actually working in my favor. And in Marienburg, sometimes it's good to just let it tip if it's really close, just let it rebel, step outside of your place, but stay in that red circle and let it rebel, and then in a couple turns it's going to drop 20% each turn, get it down to in the 40s, and then attack the person if you have the army to do so. That's another strategy. But back to early strategies. Yeah, once you take Castle Artos, sometimes you're gonna have to take Castle Baston. But sometimes you can get a non-aggression pact early on, and then you can focus on taking Marienburg. Once Marienburg is taken, you can take Grunzint, and then a lot of times Middenheim. Every time he's come over and he's taken Gorcel. Once you've got here, you basically can form a pincher movement. You can send armies over around this way and send armies this way, and you can just sort of hit him in the middle. Or you can leave one army here trying to repair, swing an army through down here, and take his province here at Elengel, and then come back up. And by this time Marienburg is a little bit better. See there, as soon as I take this place, I'm gonna have to send an army to Marienburg to help them along. And then once you've got this corner, you're gonna have to leave. We'll build an army up here, the next one, place an army in Marienburg, and then Heinrich is gonna come over. I recommend just leaving Leoness alone. You don't really need to kill him, but if you kind of want the province now that he has Mousillon, or you can add the trade benefits there. But now you're gonna have to worry about more. These guys are automatically gonna start attacking you. Probably recommend taking on Baston first, because Bordelot has to still worry about Mousillon for now, so he's gonna play a little bit defensive, but really they don't really try to play offensive. But if he does, Baston does declare war on you. He likes to attack here at Grisorix. I think that's how it's pronounced. I'm not sure. I apologize if I butcher the name. So it's good to leave an army here. Like even this army here, this army got whooped when they came up. He lost a lot of his men and had to retreat, but I didn't have the resources yet till I get Heinrich coming down here. And you want to get these castles, these big castles, to this level 3. Once you get to level 3, then you can get, you want the Bellflower Blazer in here before you even want walls, well, extra garrison defense walls, because that vampire corruption is going to be key to getting your places, taking away that negativity of that lack of corruption. And here it's big because then all your places are going to overlap. Once you get here, this is going to give 2% plus 2 to all the other adjacent places. So just at this place, he's touching this province, he's touching the Marienburg province, he's touching over here at Caron, he's touching over here at Mousillon, he's touching here at Baston. So it makes a big difference once you start overlapping that corruption to really stave off public order. Because right now this place's lack of corruption is at -7, so it's not the best. But once you get up that higher, this one is at what, 65. I'm still getting 5 corruption. But my vampiric corruption now is giving me a bonus of 7, so that really helps. So that's more the early game tips. You're definitely going to want to work your way south and play kind of a defensive barrier put up at Marienburg and Caron, and maybe put a defense this up and maybe put an army at Montfort, and then work your way south and just trickle and just take out all of the Bretonia area. And once you start getting over here, you're going to run into, the Vampire Coast, the Dreadfleet captain over here. He's usually trying to keep beating up here and getting into this area. Usually he's successful. Alright, let's do that battle. So I don't really want to wait because my Marienburg is going out, so I'll just be able to climb up the walls, bust down his door. A lot of his men are at half health, so that makes it a lot easier to beat them. So let's start the battle. Alright, let's start deployment. I'm gonna put just gonna move everybody back for a second. Put my zombie pirates up, not zombie pirates, my zombies up there just to soak up all the fire. Cane race there. And I'm just gonna take all of them and put them up because they're just gonna go straight up on the walls. Let's move some of these zombies over. We're just gonna have Black Knights and Hextras ready to attack. with Heinrich Kimmler. And Hans here. We got the Necromancer. Let's just group it all for now. Oh, we got that corpse cart. Let's bring that corpse cart up. So for you, you're gonna need to be your own group. Start the battle. We're just gonna move everybody up. And we're just gonna overwhelm them. Just by sending everybody. Put our crossbowmen over here. Send our Philbats over these guys. Let's put everybody on the walls. See that fire stopped quite a bit now. Now those Philbats got, that makes a big difference. Crane Wraith, the siege equipment is coming up to batter the walls. Late game though, Terrorgeist and Bargeist are going to be over here just destroying. They'll be a lot better and last a lot longer than what Philbats do, but Philbats are pretty fast and they can go. They're even better to go behind lines and take out their siege equipment is what they're doing. Alright, our guys are throwing up their ladders. These zombies are just getting pummeled. Everybody, let's try to move them all up close to get out of these range. Starting to take this tower. All these guys are moving along. Sort of get out of the range of that. Actually, just stay in there. So the tower keeps firing at him. Alright, our guys are coming on. They're going to take some damage because they're just barely getting up, but we're just going to overwhelm them quite easily. Alright, looks like we took that, I guess. That was quick. All these guys in here. They really don't have anybody down here. We're gonna put Krell out here. We won the battle. Don't recommend these guys, Heinrich, doing much fighting. He will lose pretty quickly. But everybody can fight quite nicely. Most of you guys have healing bonuses and buffs. Necromancer. Throw some zombies in here to help so these knights don't quite do a charge. Gonna lose our fell bats. That's alright.
The living will join us.
These guys are gonna come for our charge here.
Rise, rise!
Starting to get our second group up. Ooh, there he goes. Pegasus guys are coming at me. Ooh, where are you going? Men are just, they got a lot of lores, but not enough to do anything. We can just get everybody now, start coming up the backside. Wish I had those some more fell bats. That would have been nice to hit this siege equipment. One thing I found that his fire blast is terribly inaccurate. Are doing getting hurt. I don't want them to get out of there. They're not. They don't got many left. We pretty much finished them off. There we go, victory, and that's how it's done. Could have waited for siege equipment. It would have made it a little bit prettier, but we just had overwhelming force. They just had no way in the world they could win. Well, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. I always write back all the comments. And hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to leave a thumb up if you did. This is Jag, signing out. Peace.